All right, Shellie, thank you so much for being on today. It is great to meet you and to have you part of this. So I would love to jump right in to tell me a bit about who you are and what you're working on right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Shellie Deloyer. I'm the founder of Bright Future Solutions, which is a coaching and training company. And we primarily focus on helping people figure out who they are, what their purpose is, and how to live their life more in alignment with that purpose and with their values.
Amazing. How did you get into this kind of work?
Oh, that's a big story. So
Yeah.
I used to be a high school teacher. And there were pieces of teaching that I absolutely loved, which was primarily working with people, helping people believe in themselves, having great conversations, and inspiring them. But there was pieces of teaching I really didn't love, which was more the bureaucracy and the system and being told what to do and how to do it. So I took the aspects of teaching that I loved and left behind the pieces that I didn't. So I went into entrepreneurship to be able to do things my own way, which I believed I could do better on my own than I could inside of a very rigid system. And continued having the deep conversations, but more from a perspective of let's help you break through the stuff that's holding you back and really create the results you want in your life, which people are much more open and willing to do on their own than they are within such a big confining system.
Amazing. And what kind of people do you work with primarily?
So I do still work sometimes with students who are figuring out their direction in life and who they want to become and who they really are and where they're going after high school. But even more so, I work with people who are successful in their careers or in their businesses, who are go-getters, high achievers, but they are wondering, is this really all that there is to life? Something's missing. They don't know what it is. Their work isn't fulfilling them. They tend to be very busy, likely have kids, families, and thriving careers at the same time. But they're constantly caught up in the rat race, and they just want to
Yes.
know, how do I live more in alignment with who I am and with what I want, living life on their own terms instead of somebody else's.
Amazing. I love this is a great topic. And so what are some of the things that you've recognized or patterns that have come up as you've done this work?
I think the biggest thing is it's human nature for us to get in our own way, and we
Hmm.
can't see our blind spots, and we don't know what we don't know.
Hmm.
So self-sabotage is very real for a lot of the people that I'm working with, because they are stuck doing things the way they've always done them and creating all new habits and all new patterns and sometimes new belief systems and changing things up to be more in alignment with your values. It's a lot of change and transformation. So it's all about getting out of your own way, so that you can create new wiring almost for yourself that actually leads to the results that you want.
Amazing. Do you have any kind of things to keep in mind or kind of pointers for people watching of something that they could think about if they're having this issue?
Yeah,
Where would you
absolutely.
start?
I love starting with taking a look and paying attention to what stories you're telling yourself. So when you hone into what's going through your mind, whether it's like your inner voice or your inner critic or the self-talk that's going on, whether it's supporting you or not supporting you, either way, just it's paying attention to what those stories are that are going through your mind, what you're telling yourself, and then being able to remove yourself from that story and just look at it to see, does this story actually need to be true for me? Because so much of the time it's just conditioning.
Just a
It's the
tape that's
story.
playing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not necessarily even true
Right.
or your necessary reality anymore. It's just the story you've bought into your entire life.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, if you grew up in a childhood home where money was tight, which I think is true for a lot of people, you might have heard stories such as, no, we can't afford that,
Hmm.
or what do you think, money grows on trees? And so you buy into this story of scarcity when it comes to money and there never being enough.
Hmm.
And then if you look at your money situation today, does that correlate to where you're at right now? And if it does, and that's not how you want to live, then it's time to change that story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So language and the language you're using with yourself plays into my work a lot.
Cool. Cool. What would you say is the thing that you most need help with right now?
What do I need help with? That's a great question. I think for me, it's just about meeting more of the people who want to and are willing and committed to creating this level of change for themselves.
Hmm.
It's deep work. It's completely transformative. I've gone through the journey myself. And I know what it's like. So you have to be open and willing and committed. And I also know that at the end of that process, it's not really the end because we're never really done. But once you're on the other side of specific transformation, you get to the point where you don't even recognize yourself anymore.
Tell me more about that.
Okay, so in a really great way, because that could seem a little bit scary. But I look back at myself, say 4 or 5 years ago. I was in my business. I was working very hard. I had a newborn and a 2-year-old. And my husband also is a really hard worker and is having a successful career. So it was just like life was just crazy chaotic. But it was always like, we got to get ahead. We got to get ahead. We got to get ahead. Got to do more so we can have more. And that was kind of the story of our life. And then through my own personal journey of evolution and doing my own inner work, I moved from the constantly needing to have and do more conversation to just stopping and taking a look at who am I being first? Am I being my true self? Am I being the person I want to be? And am I setting myself up to become the person I want to be? And before worrying about any sort of doing or having conversation, it needed to come back to being first. And so by doing that, I've let go of pieces of myself that I wasn't congruent with and didn't want to be attached to anymore, which I refer to as like my old perfectionist self and my old control freak. 2 ways that I definitely would have identified in the past. And that's not who I wanted to be. It wasn't working for me very well. I didn't know how to be any different because it was just automatic programming. It's just what I did. But when I let go of those old strategies and created new thought patterns, new beliefs, and new strategies for myself, now I had a different way of doing things. So then I could bring in the doing again with, okay, here's who I truly am. Now that I'm operating from this place, now what do I actually want to do?
And was there a specific moment when you felt like things really aligned for you, or was it more of a gradual change?
It's definitely a journey. There's been a lot of aha moments along the way where pieces click into place. It's like a big puzzle, right? So it's like, oh, there's 2 pieces that fit over here and more pieces fit over there. But the whole puzzle itself is a lifelong journey.
Yes. I love that. Amazing. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
Oh my goodness, that felt like a lot in a very short amount of time, and that was a lot of fun. Anything I want to add? I think for anybody out there who feels like there's more to life, there's got to be more for them, but they don't know what that is, reach out. I'm happy to chat because I'm a true believer that there always is more.
Amazing. And where can people get in touch with you and find you online?
Absolutely. They can email me, Shellie at brightfuturessolutions.com, or I'm on Instagram, Shellie_Deloyer, or on Facebook, Bright Futures Solutions.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Shellie.
Thanks so much for having me, Dan.
Thank you.